Yes, boxing fans, Ian Matthias for the Mob Predictions, and today we're going to look at the extremely intriguing contest between undefeated Texan Errol Spence Jr., who takes on Filipino legend that is Manny Pacquiao. The fight takes place August 21st at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. With weeks of slow negotiations between Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford, it was Errol Spence Jr. who grabbed the bull by the horns and accepted the challenge to be the man that retires an all-time great. Before getting into the nuts and bolts of the fight, we move on to the tail of the tape. It doesn't happen too often, but this is one of the fights where we see both boxers who will fight in the southpaw stance. Introducing the younger, fresher man, Errol The Truth Spence Jr. He comes into the bout with a record of 27 wins, 21 by way of KO. Spence is undefeated and the current unified WBC and IBF welterweight champion. Chances are we're going to run out of superlatives for this man. Manny Pacman Pacquiao, the 8-weight division world champion, a record of 62 wins with 39 by way of KO, 7 losses and 2 draws. Now, as per the press conference, the physical advantages lie with Spence. He's 5'9.5" compared to Pacquiao being 5'5.5". Spence also has a 5-inch reach advantage. At 11 years the younger man, and with 44 less fights, Spence is by far the fresher man. And with all these advantages, on paper you would expect this to be a bit of a mismatch. Manny Pacquiao though is not your average boxer.
Pacman Pacquiao!
The Filipino turned pro way back in January 1995 and is now competing at the highest level for a 4th decade, which is absolute insanity. To name some of those divisions the Pacquiao has picked up his world titles in, we got flyweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, junior welterweight, welterweight and super welterweight world titles. Pacquiao has one of the most incredible resumes and has come across every possible style of fighting. He will go into this contest believing that he can once again pull off an incredible victory. Inactivity will be an issue for Pacquiao. This will be only the 4th fight he's had in the last 4 years, and we've been waiting for Pacquiao to look overnight for the last decade. So potentially inactivity could be something that helps him prolong his career, get that rest and recovery in, and come back fitter and stronger. Pacquiao's success can be attributed to his blistering hand speed and his fantastic foot movement, taking those little small steps and firing a barrage of machine gun-like punches and getting out of the way of any return fire. Now, aside from Floyd Mayweather Jr., the fighter who's undoubtedly had the most success against Pacquiao is Juan Manuel Marquez. In their first fight, although Pacquiao dropped Marquez 3 times in the opening stanza, and after his initial weathering in this firestorm, Marquez grew into the fight and was able to slow the pace down and time Pacquiao coming in. This is how I see Spence looking to gain success in this one. So the question is, how do we see Pacquiao overcoming this? He's going to have to follow a similar blueprint that helped him become the great that he is today. Fire off 3 to 5 punches, pivot away. Is there opening for some more? Boom, get in, fire some more. At the age of 42, can he still do this? Does he still have that freshness? Have Pacquiao's last 2 fights against Broner and Thurman, both of whom fight at a slower pace than Spence, prepared him for the challenge ahead. I think Pacquiao is going to have to control the pace of the fight to come up victorious. Use all his experience to fight when he wants and keep Spence at bay when he needs a breather. Although going into this one as an underdog, Pacquiao can certainly win this fight.
Errol The Truth Spence Jr.
Errol Spence Jr. though will be looking to use all his physical attributes alongside his skill set to ensure that this is not the case. One of the keys to victory for Spence in this one will be his body punching. For me, he's one of the top 3 body punchers in the world alongside Canelo and Henao. Spence, who isn't a one-punch knockout artist, he still has a 77% KO ratio. He's going to look to weigh down the older man and use his physicality to drain Pacquiao, take him into the second half of the fight. When Spence first won his title against Kell Brook, the IBF, back in 2016, he made Brook fight at a good pace, looking to force him to fight pretty much every second of every round. Before that, Brook was fighting Golovkin and had to drain himself down to the 147 limit. Spence kept the pressure on, early body shots, I think that's what he's going to look to do here. He's going to keep a constant flow of pressure on Pacquiao, forcing him to the point where Pacquiao starts to slow down the stretch. Spence's jab is also going to be key in this fight. The late Vernon Forrest said the best way to beat speed is with a jab, and a well-timed jab at that, and that is exactly what Spence possesses. As Pacquiao comes in, he's going to have to hit him with that jab. He is going to have to slow down the older man. He doesn't have the speed advantage in this one, but I do think he has the timing and precision to make it a very difficult night for Manny Pacquiao. Similar to when he fought Mikey Garcia, a much smaller man, Spence is going to look to use his physical strengths to bully the smaller man. Although Pacquiao is faster than Garcia, the physical dimensions are similar. I can imagine when they tie up close, that Spence is going to be the stronger man, looking to rag around Pacquiao a little bit, make his life really, really difficult, really, really uncomfortable. I think the first 6 rounds of this fight are going to be incredibly important. I can see Pacquiao looking to start fast, similar to how he did against Thurman, keep the pressure on, build momentum. If he can trouble Spence in the early round, then he'll be looking to keep that momentum in the second half of the fight. Spence, on the other hand, will look to sort of keep with Pacquiao, does what he does best, throw that wicked jab, throw some body shots, keep a consistent flow of pressure on the older man, and ultimately look to wear him down in the second half of the fight. Now for the prediction. For me, I am a massive fan of Errol Spence Jr. and rank him as the #1 welterweight in the world. I think this fight will further prove that he and not Terence Crawford is the man at 147. I believe the Spence wins the fight. I actually think he gets Manny out with it inside the distance. The early body shots, consistent pressure and physical strength that he possesses will sap the energy out of the Filipino and see Spence go on and get the stoppage around round 9. If Spence, really struggles to make weight for this fight, it could become a competitive one, but I think we will see a faded Manny Pacquiao this time around. The videos in the lead up I haven't overly been impressed with, just getting 10-second clips here and there, usually a worry. For Pacquiao himself, I've always had difficulty accepting Pacquiao. Throughout his career, he's had consistent drug use rumours, and the career trajectory he has taken suggests those rumours could be true. So with that being said, on a personal level, I hope Spence beats the snot out Pacquiao and sends him into permanent retirement. This has been Ian Mathias for the Mob Prediction. Let us know your comments below, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.